My name is Sara Flores, and I am the Deputy Director of Principal Gifts, and I'll let you introduce yourself.
And I am Courtney Liesma. I am a Development Manager on the Principal Gifts team.
Well, and we're supposed to talk about our relationship to each other, which seems like it should be easy. We both are on the same team, and I manage you, Courtney, but I think our relationship is actually more complicated than that in some ways. We're supposed to be talking about, I think we were asked to talk about mentoring, and I think about how many years ago it was that I started mentoring you when you first started at the Nature Conservancy with the Great Rivers Partnership, and how we did that for, I think, 2 years before you actually joined our team. I can't remember how long you were with the GRP. So we started out in a mentoring relationship and not a team, like, supervisory relationship.
We did. Yeah, it was about 2 years. And then I was lucky that you had a position open on your team. So here I am.
And here you are. And so then, and since then, I think what's interesting is that you, at the same time that I was mentoring you, I was mentoring someone on the Africa team. Since then, that person has asked us to mentor someone on her team, and now you're playing that role for the Africa team. So I just think it's a wonderful story of a lot of women who have played a mentoring role, and I think that's a big part of our relationship.
Yeah, and I know a lot of, even the people that I work with, you, Sarah, have mentored a lot of women at TNC. I just want to highlight that because I think that's one of the things that I love about you.
That's nice. Thank you. I have been very lucky to do that on the operations side. I think, interestingly, in our field structures, like positions like ours tend to be the solo person on a team. And so a lot of times the supervisor sort of like, I don't know how to help this person learn how to help their job, so they have to look outside of their operating unit. And I have always loved doing it. And so I think I've been really lucky to talk to a lot of different people in that regard. One of the questions we're supposed to be talking about is how we support each other professionally. And I don't know, I'll go first. I think the thing that, the way that Courtney has always supported me professionally is honestly just in showing up. I don't think I've ever asked Courtney to get on the phone, talk through a problem, answer a text, and have ever felt like I've gotten a sigh or an eye roll. You make time for me. And I think that's one of the biggest things that has been so meaningful to me, is that I know you are someone who is always going to make time to listen to whatever I need to talk about, or just to take a deep breath and go through a 15-minute vent with me just to get something off my chest so I can move forward, and to do it with no judgment. And I always feel like whenever I have ever needed you, you've been able to show up for me. And I think that in a professional setting is really hard. Like, having really dependable teammates is crucial to success.
Thank you. That's nice of you to say. And I would say how you support me professionally, it's similar. You're always there, a listening ear when I need you, but you've also always been, I think, an advocate for me, even before I officially reported to you. I know just in the mentoring relationship, I probably wouldn't have lasted my first year at TNC without your guidance, and now, you know, I've been on your team for 6 years now, and you've always been an advocate for me, just encouraging me to step outside my comfort zone and take on new challenges, and really kind of grow into my own voice professionally. And I think that's translated into my personal life too. So I just always have appreciated that you are in my corner and have my back.
Well, it feels like, I mean, this sort of relates to our next question, which is the most important thing that women can do to support other women at work. And I sort of have two of them, and I do think one of them is just encouragement. There isn't any lack of opportunities for us all to succeed, and your success is going to look different from my success, but I think they're so interrelated. And I feel like anytime we can champion each other, it doesn't, you know, highlighting your shine doesn't take away any of mine. You know what I mean? Like, there is like a limitless amount of success to go around, or encouragement. And so I think being liberal with it can be a huge way to support other women at work. And it's funny that you said about giving you opportunities. I also think, and I know this was done for me by one of my first supervisors when I moved to the world office, was encouraging women to think beyond just their scope of experience and the strengths that they have to take on things that maybe they haven't tried before, and to take a risk or to be brave based on your potential, not just your experience. And so I know that when I first started in a particular role, my boss asked me to do a couple things: lead some meetings, write some agendas, do the reporting to some leadership that I had never done before. And I was terrified, and I sort of pushed back and I said, I've never done that before. And she was like, well, there has to be a first time at some point, so let's let that be now. But she was also someone who was really kind about when I messed up, and I did mess up a lot, like things I forgot, things I didn't think about. And she never made me feel like those mistakes were end points. They were just other places to grow from. And so I think that's, when I think about important ways to support other women at work, it's giving them opportunities to try things that might feel risky or things that they haven't done before. Because I think sometimes, I know in the past I have limited myself because I have not felt like I could do something because I had never done it before. But that you just stop growing at that point.
Yeah, and I definitely feel like you've done that for me, for sure. And I would say, when I was thinking about this question, the thing that came to me was to support women at work, and really and anyone at work, is to recognize that there are different work styles and styles of leadership, and that each one is valuable, and to not maybe even unconsciously prioritize one style of leadership or one way of working over another. I think sometimes, not across the board, but I think sometimes women, at least speaking for myself, tend to be a little bit more quiet, or maybe need some time to reflect on things, and not as apt to jump into a conversation, especially a conference call situation or something in the moment, that need a little bit more time to reflect. And I think I've always felt that you have valued the way that I show up and my more quiet style of showing up at work, and my more reflective style. And that has really made a huge difference in my confidence in my style. I think there's been times that in the past that I haven't had that much support in that way. And so, I tried when I was younger to fit myself into the more assertive mold or something, and that just felt really unnatural for me. And it also made me feel like there's something wrong with me or something. And so I think I know that it's made a big difference for me that you've supported the way that I show up. And I think that feels like to me another way that we can support other women and everyone at work is just to value all the styles of leadership and work styles as equally valuable.
Yeah. No, that's huge. I would say, that is a really big one. My style is definitely not, I don't know, I'm probably louder than you are, but I think I have a tendency to absorb and then need to reflect. I have a hard time making decisions on the spot, or having an opinion about something on the spot. Or my knee-jerk reaction is that if you're going to force me into an opinion, I likely am going to say no, or I'm going to think it's a bad idea, because I can't agree to something that I haven't been able to think through. And so I think I sometimes come off as maybe sometimes a negative or a anxiety-ridden person sometimes, because I need to process. And I may come to the idea that that actually is a great idea and I'm willing to try something new, but if you're going to force me to answer it in that moment, then that's probably not the conclusion I'm going to come to. So, I'm grateful for time to reflect as well. And actually if our last question is talking about our favorite thing about each other, and I of course have 10 million things that are my favorite thing about you. It was hard to pick just one. And it would be easy to say, it is your sort of quiet, reflective style and the gift that has been to our team, not just our operations team, but I think the principal gifts team, the lessons and the hands-on opportunity for mindful reflection that you have taught all of us is a huge thing. And I know I've seen the benefits of that, not just in my work life, but also in my personal life. But I actually think my favorite thing about you is the incredible way that you always, we talk about this a lot, but you really walk the walk about, you really believe in the best of people. Like, you are always looking for the best in people. You are not looking for the reason why someone is acting terribly to be a negative reason. You always give people the benefit of the doubt. You are always assuming best intent. And you've shown me how to do that over and over and over again. You're very gentle. When I sometimes get a call and I'm upset at somebody, you always have a very gentle way of maybe sort of redirecting that energy in a more positive way. And it really has helped me think through sort of why I respond the way that I respond to things. But I also know that the gift that you've given me in teaching me that is also the gift you've given me in doing that probably for me with other people. Like, I know that you have assumed the best in me when I've maybe not always been on my best behavior, or you've never assumed that like a bad day is a pattern of bad behavior or lingered on it for very long. And it is one of my favorite things about you. Like, you have a relentless positivity about you that is not naive, that is not Pollyanna. It is authentic and real. And it is about giving people the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to get weepy. I told you I was going to. Like, I'm going to start. Don't do it, Laura. Don't do it. Okay.
Well, thank you. And I also, this was a hard one for me. I have many, many favorite things about you. I think one of my favorite things about you is you are you're not afraid to be like vulnerable or express the things that challenge you even to the people that report to you. So I feel like, you know, it's like a two-way relationship. You know, it's not like you're the one that always has it all together and then you're telling us what to do. You're very open about the things that challenge you, the things that are going on that you're struggling with, and I just really appreciate that you're that open and transparent, and it just makes it feel like it's more of like a family and not like a boss and, you know, report sort of situation. I've always really loved that about you. I also have, like I was talking about earlier, that you've always advocated for me. That's another favorite thing, is that I just always feel like I can come to you and you'll support me 100%. And that means so much to me. I also really love all of your big earrings.
Well, it's a club we both belong to. It's the